The Flash, Season 4, Episode 8, titled Crisis on Earth X Part 3. Of course, this is the third part of the big crossover between Supergirl, The Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow. And this episode is what I thought it was going to be, not special effects heavy, not, action heavy. If it was going to have any, it was going to happen all at the end. And it pretty much was, it wasn't as much. Because this episode is all about us seeing Earth-X, what Earth-X is. Because all we know about Earth-X is what it is. It's the what if the Nazis won World War II Earth. Like, we know about that. But we don't know what the people are like. We don't know what the world is, and this is what this episode is. We meet characters that we already know, but different. We meet a Earth 1 Lance, but he's a general. We meet a Earth-X a Win, who's pretty much like the John Connor of like an anti-Nazi resistance in a way, and those moments were cool because you're seeing different lights of not just the characters that you already know, but you're seeing the actors that you're so used to see them in one way, but you're able to see them in another way playing the same character, which is always cool and always great. Now, when it comes to the Supergirl element, I really enjoy that. Here's the thing, I really enjoy both parts, the Earth-X stuff and the all of the Supergirl stuff on Earth 1, because we find out in the second at the end of last episode that the Earth-X Supergirl is dying, that she went too close to the sun, also a Superman reference, by the way, and she needs the Supergirl that we know to give out her heart and die and all that kind of stuff to make her live and be superior in her own way. And the conversations between these two characters are awesome, because the performances, there's a plural, actually, of a noise, is fantastic. This kind of shows how great an actress she is. Like, it's just amazing how awesome she is as an actor. Because, in part 2, she was doing an accent, but I didn't know what she was doing. Like, I knew she was like, out of the main, like, bad guys, her performance was like the best one. She was the one that stood out, and I couldn't know it until now. She really reminds me of a lot of Hugo Weaving's performance in the first Captain America film, where there's a bit of a German accent and there's a little bit of that, soldier general talk, but it's a little bit mixed with a bit of a British accent, just a little bit. And personally, for me, I thought like that's awesome. And seeing the two conversations between them and how superior that the Earth-X Supergirl has is awesome. It's great. She's saying like, oh, everyone wants to be white with blonde hair. Like, everyone wants to be us. And it's like, oh, right, yeah. Of course, leads to a lot of, being on Earth-X, you see a lot of Nazi ideas. You see, Ray is in a relationship with Captain Cold, and of course he has to wear a purple triangle because your purple triangle were a sign that you were homosexual if you were in a camp. And of course the most tragic moment with showing all the Nazi ideas on Earth-X is the scene with Felicity, seeing Earth-X Felicity, of her giving food to starving children, and because she's a Jew, she needs to suffer for it, which is tragic, and it's super tragic. It's like the second tragic moment of this episode. The first is the ending, like the last 30 seconds, because it ends with the death of Professor Stein. And I was like, no, not Professor Stein. I like Professor Stein. And Professor Stein gets killed off. I was like, can one of these people have a happy ending? Could we have it? Because I knew, like, I don't watch Legends, right? But I knew that, you know, Vitigar was leaving, and I thought it was going to be like, okay, it might be like missing with Denali or something. Like, he's going to go back, he's going to have time with his family, and he'll go back. And, like, no. Bloody soldier suit Professor Stein. And it's like, no. Waters almost came out of my eyes, because, you know, this character was first on Flash, and I was, and, you know, went on Arrow, on Legends, and so there's that kind of, like, personal attachment to the character, just because you've been with this character since, like, series 1 of Flash. But yeah, this episode is a more world building episode, and I can't wait to see how it gets wrapped up.